But nonetheless, that happened at night, but Beverly Kidd is going to join us in the newsroom this evening to talk about some video that happened daytime.
Yeah, Mike, as you know, we do get a lot of strange videos here at 3TV, and, you know, we get red dots, blue dots, all shiny objects, all kinds of stuff in here. But this one, well, just take a look.
Like right here, this is where I zoomed in for, like, I think the first time. And you can definitely see it. It has a humanoid shape to it. And there's only one other guy who has something like this, and it's, you know, Jeff Woolwine.
I noticed this object that seemed to be leaving the mountain.
We've met Jeff Woolwine before. He spends hours every day scanning the skies and the mountain in South Phoenix for mystery objects, and he gets a lot. But this one, captured in April, is really bizarre.
It seemed to climb up at kind of a high altitude, roughly about maybe 1,000 feet. I don't believe any balloon would be walking in the sky like that, and it actually changed directions. It was going west there for a while, and then it seemed to make a U-turn and start to come right over the apartment complex.
Woolwine calls it a tadpole, a shape he found not only in the sky, but also in a book about ancient Hohokam petroglyphs on South Mountain. Petroglyphs he's seen with his very own eyes.
That's telling me that the prehistoric people that first settled here in Phoenix more than likely saw these things in the sky also, and the only way to record this was to carve it on the rocks.
Could this object really be an extraterrestrial visitor? Some think it might be a test flight, someone flying a jetpack. Others think it's a set of balloons. Could be anything, but you can see this story again on our website, azfamily.com. Check it out, see what you think. When I hear the word humanoid, that really kind of freaks me out.
Oh, it's some kid that had a balloon at the Phoenix Zoo and he let
I
go
don't
of
know.
it.
Those petroglyphs are really cool and fascinated by those.
Maybe Royal knows. He knows everything.
Spirits do not hide. Hear the words spoken from our mouths.
On the next Petroglyphs in the Sky UFO show, we will be talking about the recent jellyfish UFO sightings that has been filmed in all parts of the world that has been sweeping the internet lately. I first discovered this new type of UFO in 2005 while investigating the Phoenix Lights in my own hometown that was connected to the Native American rock drawings on the mountains around Phoenix. My discovery of these new types of beings is what helped the pilot for the UFO Hunter show and Ancient Aliens TV series. Then in 2007, while being on the UFO Hunter show called Arizona Lights, we talked about these beings connected to the 1,000-year-old rock art, but being over 15 years ahead of other skywatchers, they had told me that the public wasn't ready for this type of information yet, but I knew one day the public will see them for themselves. Well, it took longer than what I expected, and now here we are today, as the public is now seeing what I had discovered years ago. Are these crafts or something else? What does history rock art tell us? Is this new jellyfish sighting real, or could it possibly be something else? With my years of experience on these things, we will be discussing on what to look for to make sure what's real and what's not. Only here on the Roku Paranormal Family channel, where you will see this exciting show along with other great paranormal shows. I'll see you there.
That's the story I'm getting all over this mountain here. There's 1,000 years of history that has been lost in history, that either purposely has been erased or just people have just forgotten.
What you choose to believe about Jeff Woolwine and his petroglyph theories is entirely up to you. And whether he's a madman or a genius, I guess no one can say.
Hello, welcome back to another Phoenix Lights, Petroglyphs in the Sky UFO show. How's everybody doing tonight? So glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining. My name is Jeff Woolwine. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Been seeing these things in the sky, these UFOs, ever since I was a kid. This is what led me to go on a hunt, on a quest to find out exactly what was going on in our skies, and I believe I have found some answers. And we're going to talk about that tonight. And so many years of research on the Phoenix Lights and dozens of sightings, hundreds of sightings of the Phoenix Lights in my hometown here in Phoenix. I've seen it all. I've hiked it all. I've done my research. And it's a pretty compelling story. It's a pretty credible story on what I have uncovered, because this type of information hasn't been talked about in a very long time. I'm not saying anything that has been said before. This information has always been with us. It's always been here. It's just been covered up, overlooked, or just thought it was simply myths, legends, and stories. But in fact, what if some of these myths, legends, and stories actually are facts? Okay, what if some of these things that we've been hearing, especially from the Native Americans when they're calling these things spirits? I mean, where did this information come from originally? There had to have been a source. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And so there's been a lot of UFO sightings now of what they're calling jellyfish. I don't know why they're calling them jellyfish, but okay, I'll go with it. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about on how to understand what to look for, to see if these things are real, things like that. In my many years of experience on these things, I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it, and we're going to talk about some of these sightings. I'm going to show you some of my UFO sightings that has been analyzed, that has been looked at, so it's all real stuff, no hoax, no CGI. Everything that I've been saying is real, credible. I can back up everything that I say. And that's why I'm here with you today, to get this information out to you, because the public needs to know. Back in, 2007, when I was doing the Phoenix Lights show, Arizona Lights on the History Channel, on UFO Hunter show, they're telling me, Jeff, you're filming some bizarre stuff. The public isn't ready for this, and I was like, man, well, the public better get ready for it, because it's here. Well, years later, I mean, it took longer than what I expected, but we're finally here. We're finally talking about these things. And, not all UFOs are crafts. I've been saying this ever since I discovered these beings in 2005. These things is like a type of living creature. These are living entities that we're dealing with here, folks. Not nuts and bolts, not crafts, at least the ones that the majority of the public is seeing. Not the hoax CGI stuff with crafts and aliens and stuff like that, but the real sightings. And that's what's, in my opinion, that's what is kind of been overlooked here, because we're all looking for spaceships. We're all looking for technology, right? So when we see these lights in the sky, when we see these things in the sky, we're automatically assuming, because it's not a spaceship, because it's not a craft, that it's got to be a flare, it's got to be some kind of balloon, it's got to be a, now they're calling drones and things like that, because they're not spaceships. Well, I'm here to tell you, folks, this is what's credible here. This is what we need to be looking for. Shapeshifters, living creatures, things that are moving weird in the sky, that are alive, point blank. These things are alive. I've been saying this ever since I found this out in 2005. As a matter of fact, here's some links to my books. The white book is the movie. The blue book is the whole story. Everything. 15 years of research. I think there's like 1,800 plus pages in this book. So it's huge. Many years of research. Lots of colored photographs of the petroglyphs, a lot of investigating the rock art, the history of Phoenix that has been covered up. This information has been covered up. They say that, that Phoenix is a fiery bird that rose out from a formal civilization. But they're not really giving us a good idea on who or what the formal civilization was. They're kind of like keeping us in the dark here. The archaeologists are telling us, well, the Hohokam people were simply peace-loving people who were making pots and made canals, and they lived peacefully for 1,000 years, and then all of a sudden, things got too hot, so they migrated somewhere else. Well, if that's the case, then where did they go, right? Unfortunately, there's no evidence on where these people went. Well, there is. If you really deep down look into it, yes, there is evidence on where they went. And we'll talk about that in other shows, and we talked about it in my last show. So, yes, there is evidence on where these people went. Well, at least what history says, what the rock art is telling us where these people went. Archaeologists say they migrated somewhere else, but we can't find any place on where they went. When you and I move, we take our belongings with us, but yet the Hohokam people left all their stuff behind and simply disappeared. No trace, boom, vanished, gone. That's it. Where'd they go? Oh, and not only this tribe of Indians, but all these tribes of Indians from around the world who were conquerors of their land, masters of their land for at least 1,000 years, and then all of a sudden disappeared with no trace, right? Where'd they go? Oh, and at the same time, come on now. Oh, the archaeologists, don't forget. Oh, they just went somewhere else, man. It's cool. Don't worry. Not to worry, folks. They just went somewhere else. We don't know where they went, but they obviously... Oh, yeah, they did go somewhere else. Not where you and I think they went, at least what we've been told. But history tells a different story. This is what my books talk about here. White one is the movie, the blue one is the full story. Make sure you pick up your copies. So we got a lot to cover. I did the pilot for the UFO Hunter show in 2005. 2004, I was filming these lights on the east side of South Mountain. I got hundreds of sightings. And, made the news. And then from there, my investigations led me to South Mountain. Because all the credible information, everything that I've been getting, these things were pointing me. These lights, these Phoenix lights were showing me where to go. They were taking me to the mountain. So I moved to the mountain to try to get a better look at these things. And, my stuff went viral in 2004 when I'm seeing the lights then. But now I moved to the mountain and I'm seeing something different. And right now, as we're thinking spaceships, technology, crafts, right? And so I'm seeing one, and it comes down. I'm living just like about 1.5 miles away from South Mountain on the east side, on the northeast side, on 40th Street and Baseline. That's where I was, folks, in Phoenix. Perfect view of the mountain. Up on the second story, camera out the window, we're ready to go. And, I stayed there for a good 3.5 years, and I got some amazing, incredible, interesting, crazy, scary stuff. And throughout the years, I'm soon learning that this isn't technology. Man, these things are alive, okay? And the rock art, man, that's the thing here. Is telling us the story. It's telling us what to look for. The rock art around Phoenix, Arizona, and most of the rock art around these holy mountains around the world is in fact UFO sightings. It's just not here in Phoenix. It's all over the world. And this type of information hasn't been talked about or hasn't been proven until I started doing my research. I mean, we thought, oh, it's just a theory that the Native Americans were seeing UFOs. Well, now, because of my work, we have proof now. Okay? I successfully matched these things in the skies to the Native American over 1,000 year old rock art. This is a new take on the Phoenix Lights. This is a new take on UFOs. And so I did the pilot for the UFO Hunter show because, you know, back then my stuff's making the news once again. And now I'm not just talking about Phoenix Lights. I'm talking about, you know, at the time we're calling them tadpoles because the rock art is kind of showing and they kind of do look like tadpoles, right? But then some of this other rock art it's talking about is showing its flying serpents. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. And only why not? Because back in the day, Arizona was a part of Mexico, right? So it's only natural that their beliefs, their ideas, their gods would come over here. They'd follow them just like what I did. I followed the lights to South Mountain. The lights showed me all of this information. If they wasn't guiding me in this direction, I would have, you know, I mean, I love archaeology. I've been an amateur archaeologist way before a professional ufologist. So I love history. And when I put these things together, when I combined a lot of time, a lot of patience, sky watching, archaeology, history, when I combined all that stuff, I got my answers, man. And that's what it was. And this is what I like to say on the 3 points of credibility. The 3 points of credibility here. Not hearsay, but what we can prove. And what can we prove? First, credibility. First, evidence. We can read about these things in some of these old scrolls, as far as the Anunnaki tablets, as far as the Essenes, things like this. We can read about these things from anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000 years ago. And then the next credibility, number 2, we can go out to some of these mountains and we can actually see the prehistoric photographs of what these scrolls are talking about. And then the third credibility, the third point of credibility, the pyramid of credibility, the icing on the cake, is now we are seeing the same stuff today. We are seeing what the petroglyphs are showing us in the skies, above our heads, above these sacred mountains for ourselves. That is the 3 points of credibility, folks. That is the pyramid of credibility. That's where the truth is. That's where the truth can be found at. This is it. I've been saying this ever since 2005. I've never stopped saying this, man, because I knew. You know, I thought these were spaceships, aliens, and crafts. I thought all that stuff too, man. I was with you. That's where I was going. I was going down this road thinking one thing, but the years and the hours and the time I spent and the dedication that I spent on this type of research, man, I'm telling you, it took me down a different road. And I'm sorry, I have to go where the credibility is. I have to go where the truth is. I have to go with what history is telling us. And it opened up a whole new world for me. It opened up a whole new can of worms. And it just blew my doors off once I realized what we're really dealing with here. And I'm just glad that everybody else is starting to see these things too, because I mean, I was seeing them in 2005, you know, and now finally the world is starting to see these things too, And that just means that more and more is here, because that first year, it was cool. I was seeing them. They were there on the mountain. They're coming and going from the mountains, right? They're actually going into South Mountain. And why? Because of the fault lines, because of the energy. And this it has everything to do with the energy source. All right. That's why these lights in 2004 was hanging over the power plant on the east side of South Mountain on Ray Road. That's where these lights were. That's where they continue to go today. And then the original source, 1990, or the original, the famous sighting, 1997 Phoenix lights on the west side of South Mountain between the Australia Mountains and South Mountain. That's where they were back in 97. And they're still there today. So in 2010, I was out there filming them also. So they still continue to be there because of this energy source, because of the fault line underneath South Mountain. These things has been visiting South Mountain, has been absorbing the mountain energy for thousands of years, folks. This isn't nothing new. This isn't anything new. Well, we see it in the skies today. And check this out. It's the same beings, man. It's the same creatures. It's the same entities. I believe that these things don't die. These are the same creatures, the same lights, the same entities, the same jellyfish that the ancient ones saw in the skies in their time. Is that something or what? So it's the same creatures. And they follow the sun's pattern. They follow the seasons. When the sun aligns on these fault lines, some like to call it ley lines, it attracts these beings to these energy sources. As the seasons change, the sun moves position in the sky. Now, the sun is over a different energy spot. And so these beings follow this energy source. It's a pattern. First year I saw them coming and going from South Mountain, I recognized that they were coming on certain parts of the months. Certain months, some were there, but not that many. Some months were more than others. The next year, it repeated itself, right? The third year, repeated itself. That was it. And it's continuing to this day. A lot of people are saying, well, Jeff, I was up on South Mountain, but I didn't see anything. Okay, well, it doesn't work that way, right? What time did you go? What month was it, right? It's a pattern. It's a secret pattern. I have uncovered this. We're going to talk about these sightings today. So glad you guys are here on the Roku TV channel, the PFC Paranormal Family Channel, and soon we're going to be changing the name. So get ready for that. Glad you guys are here. Let's get to it. Boy, where to start? I have some sightings. So let's what to start? Where should we start first? So I want to show you my sightings. Let's talk about the rock art first. Let's go with the rock art. So this one here is in Phoenix, and this one is on what they call a mountain. Okay, this is the hill, the mountain where ASU football stadium is. Okay. And here we can see this guy looking up. Is he looking at spaceships? No. What is he seeing in the sky? What does that resemble? Looks like a snake to me, folks. That's what we're dealing with here. It's heavy. It's crazy stuff. But this is it. This is the type of stuff that we're dealing with here. I mean, we can't get any clearer than this. He's looking up. He's seeing these flying snakes, these entities, these shapeshifters. The archaeologists likes to call them anthropomorphs, right? Because they're changing shape. And that's what the Native Americans have been telling us all these years. Okay? And that's something to look for on these new sightings. We're going to talk about that here. This is how we're going to find out what's real, what's not, and what's mistaken. Because now, I mean, the public is just now coming to find out, well, maybe these aren't spaceships. Maybe these things are living and they're moving, and, you know. So now we need to know what to look for so we're not mistaken, right? Because this is new. I understand that. And I'm here to explain to you, because I've been seeing them for years. I know what to look for. And so I want to tell you I want to explain to you on how to understand what we're looking at, what we're looking for, and what we're not looking for. And here, this is what we're looking for, folks. I mean, look at this. It's heavy stuff. And this is the reason why this type of information has been covered up for all these years, all right? And just like what Pat Usker told me in 2007, he's like, dude, the public isn't ready for this. He goes, you're filming some bizarre stuff, you know? You can't go saying living creatures, entities, whatever, living beings, shapeshifters, anthropomorphs. You can't say that, dude. The public isn't right. The public, it's going to go right over the public's head. They're not going to know anything what you're saying. You're going to talk about these things and must say crafts, because that's what everyone understands. Technology, spaceships, little gray men from Mars. That's it. You know, I was upset, but over the years, you know, I soon realized that, you know, I was many years ahead of this, and it was just a matter of time when I knew that the public was going to see what I'm talking about, what I discovered, you know? I mean, it took way longer than I thought. I thought for sure it was going to increase rapidly from what I was seeing, but nobody was really paying attention. That's the thing. You know, they wasn't paying attention. That's when they were first coming back, you know? And just over the years, just more and more is coming, especially when mankind goes to war. And I've been saying this ever since, you know, I was watching and monitoring what's going on in the world with these UFOs, UAPs, these creatures that we see in the skies today. I was monitoring closely every year, you know. And I just noticed that every time man went to war with each other, I mean, these things were heavy. These things were here. I mean, look at World War II and the Foo Fighters. You know, they're chasing those things around everywhere, dude. They saw these lights falling in the planes. Okay. So now look what's going on in the world today. So no wonder these things are here. Okay, so we got so much to talk about, and I can babble. I can go on for months and years and talk about these. So I'll try not to, because we don't have a lot of time. But this is the stuff that we're looking for. Okay, this is what history is telling us. All right, this is what can be proven. Is there spaceships carved on the rocks? Yeah, there's fake rocks. There's fake drawings. Yeah, there is. They're not real. They're not credible. No, they look real, but they're not. You see the aliens and the spaceships, and they're carved on the rocks. Sorry, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. Why? Because I have to go with what history is telling us. What's history telling us, folks? Let me show you. This is what history is telling us, folks. Okay? Point blank. We can't get any clearer than that. We can't get any clearer than this. Look at this. Okay? This isn't just some, you know, graffiti. This isn't just, you know, they're telling a story here, and it's meant for you and me. It's meant for our generation. And that's the thing. All right? This rock art, this information is meant for us. So we understand what's going on here. So we understand what's in our skies. So we can learn what's going on. Because we can't understand our future unless we understand our past. And our past is talking about what we see in the skies today. Our past is talking about this rock art. Look at this. This is a prehistoric UFO sighting, and it's meant for us. It's meant for us to understand what's really here. Not these jokers trying to mislead you. Okay? Because they want to make a movie and they want to be famous and they want to sell you books and they want to do Harkins movie theaters and sell you tickets and they want to exploit what they can't prove. Here's the proof. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. Okay? This isn't just my interpretation. This just isn't my story. This just isn't what I think this is. No. This is what history is telling us. Look at these snakes here. Look, look, look. Look at this guy here. What is he doing? He's shooting. He's got some kind of weapon there. Look at this. He's got some kind of staff weapon. We'll talk about this later on as the shows progress. So make sure you tell your friends to subscribe to this channel because we're going to go into deep. It's going to be deep. It's going to be heavy. But you need to know what's going on here. Look, look, look. They're telling us. Oh, was there some type of war that went on here? Yes, I believe so. I believe there was some kind of war where they're shooting. Look, you can actually see. You know, and it's shooting at some kind of half serpent, half man. Uh-oh. See? This is where the credibility is. Look at these dogs here. See these dogs? They're kind of playing on this rope, right? They're looking up at an orb in the sky that we see in the skies today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do. Whoa, there's more serpents. See, look. Okay? I mean, how much clearer can we get here? I mean, look at the dog. Look at the coyote, right? He's looking up, you know. And then look. See what I'm saying here? Look. So something was going on here where, you know, and this guy's like, help me, save me. I don't have a bow and arrow. I do. I'm going to shoot these things out of the sky. See, look. And unfortunately, this is missing. This rock is loose too. I'm glad that's still there. I'm glad this rock is still there too. And you can tell it's been taken out, you know. And that's why we shouldn't move the petroglyphs, because you're removing the story. And these petroglyphs aren't just carved, you know, just randomly, okay? The petroglyphs are carved on where the event took place at. So when we see these petroglyphs, we're standing in the place where the event took place at. We're actually looking back in history. This is it, and we're standing in history. Right here in front of us where this petroglyph is located at. This is why we shouldn't remove any of the glyphs, because it's our history. Okay, so what else do we got here? Okay, so I want to show you this one thing. I want to show you some videos, okay? And I want to show you what to look for. We're going to talk about what to look for. Okay, we're going to examine these videos. Now, I call this thing like a type of lima bean. This was filmed in 2006. So let's go ahead and roll this, okay? Let's take a look at this thing. Look how it acts. Look what it's doing. Look how it's flying through the air. And watch what it does. Let's examine it. Keep an eye on it. See what it's doing here? It's changing. It's morphing. See that? Isn't that something? Look. This is actually a long sighting. This sighting here, I watched this thing. It came like from the north, and it was heading towards South Mountain. And it's heading right towards South Mountain. And it actually, it goes over top of the mountain, and then it kind of climbs higher. And then later on, it dropped down onto the mountain. But when you watch this thing, it actually will morph. Look, it's changing shape. See how this thing is moving? Look. Look what it's doing now, guys. Look. See this now? Look what it just did. See that? See how it's moving? This is in 2006. This is heading towards the South Mountain. Ooh, I'm flying all over the place. Okay, so I'm giving you I'm backing up. I'm backing the camera up. You can see the mountain there. You can see South Mountain. Okay. But look what it's doing. You see that? You see how it's kind of changing shape? See that thing there? Look, there's South Mountain. There's the mountain. It actually, later on, like I said, it actually lands. It goes down behind the hill there, and it goes into the mountain. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these things are going down into the South Mountain because of the energy, because of the fault lines. So we talk about spirals, right? Spirals. Spirals are symbols for doorways. When the spiral goes clockwise, it's a doorway in. When a spiral goes counterclockwise, it's a doorway out. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, that spiral will end at a crack in that stone where it's carved at. That crack is the emergence point, is the doorway. At the time, I'm thinking, how can a big spaceship UFO craft get into a little crack, like that? But later on, I soon learned, watching these things, and they knew I was watching them. They wanted me to watch them. They wanted me to tell you what is here and what to look for. Now, look, see that thing? Look, it just morphed into 3. You see that? Oh, my goodness. See that? This is what to look for, people. See how it morphed. See how it's moving there. Look at that. Look. See that? This is the stuff that we need to be looking for. This is what we need to watch out for. Okay? Isn't that something? And it was like, holy cow, it was like, oh my gosh, maybe a 30-minute sighting. I don't know. This thing was up there for a while. And it was heading towards the mountain, and then something happened. It ascended higher, and then it hovered. It just hovered over the mountain. And look, now it's changing into 3 again. See that? See how it's changing? So this is what we want to look for. Okay? They're morphing. They're anthropomorphing. They're changing shape. Right? They're in control. They're not bobbing around like balloons. Okay? Oh my goodness. Look. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I just flew all over. I get excited and I just fly off the screen, huh? Okay, now it's starting over again. Okay, so that's what we want to look for. Okay, look how this thing is moving. How it's changing shape. Okay, let's move on. I think I want to show you a petroglyph here real quick. Yeah. Let's look at this real quick. This is on South Mountain, all right? So you see this guy here? You see that there? It kind of looks like a tadpole, right? And that's what, when I first discovered these things, I was calling them tadpoles, And that's what the archaeologist was calling them. The archaeologist was calling them tadpoles. So I just went with it. But the more and more, I watched them and understood, this is, it's a snake. Okay. It's like a snake, man. It's Quetzalcoatl. It's the feathered serpent. And that's, this is a prehistoric photograph. This was carved anywhere from 8 to over 1,000 years ago. 800 to 1,000 years at least. And so how do we know this? Is because we can't carbon date the rock art, though. When we study this, when we study this rock art, to try to get a date, Okay, so the petroglyphs is kind of like tattoos. All right, so when you first get a tattoo, the lines are skinny, right? And then over time, the lines get thicker and thicker and thicker, right? Have you ever noticed that? Those of you who have tattoos, your tattoos get thicker. Well, same thing with petroglyphs. Okay, over time, they get thicker, just like what my arrow did. Okay, they get thicker. All right, so that's one way of trying to figure out how old it is. So we see a thick line, we know it's old. Okay. Another thing, we're not supposed to be touching the petroglyphs because when we do, the oils on your skin will turn them yellow. So we see the white. We know that this petroglyph hasn't been touched much. It hasn't been touched, a lot. If the glyph is white, if it's yellow, that's people touching them. Another perfect way of finding out on estimating on when at least the people were here is by carbon dating the pottery shards. Carbon dating the pottery, all right? And a lot of the pottery on South Mountain and here in Phoenix isn't native. So there's a lot of evidence, and the story says that a lot of tribes from other areas came to Phoenix, came to this Valley of the Sun, came to South Mountain for trade and for worship. They were watching the Phoenix lights. They were watching these creatures in the sky. They were performing sacrifice onto these things. Just like in Mexico. Same story in Mexico is the same story here in Phoenix. Okay? This is what the rock art is telling us. Okay? And so we can not only from the dirt, from the pottery shards, we can pinpoint on, where the dirt came from, where the shards, where the pottery came from, but also we can kind of, carbon date the petroglyphs too. No, I'm sorry, not the petroglyphs, but the pottery shards, and the pottery is left behind. So that's one way of estimating on around when these people are here, is from the evidence of what they left behind. Okay, so we've seen that one there. Let's look at what's this one here. Okay, so this sighting took place on an ocean ship, and I'm sorry I couldn't find the original film to this. So you're going to see other text in it. It's not my text. But this was so credible. We just saw what I filmed in 2006. And so now, let me bring everything up here and get the Roku TV out of there. So we just saw what I filmed in 2006. And so now we are looking at something that somebody filmed on the ocean liner on a cruise. Okay, let's get this going. Let's look at this. Look. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, see that? The exact same thing, the same type of tap hole, the same type of creature, and you can see this is on a cruise ship. It's not trash. No, it's not trash. It's in the middle of the ocean. Okay, all right. Look at this thing. As soon as we get a fix on it. Okay, so look at this. See that? This was recently filmed here, I believe in 2023. We're in 24 now. This was filmed last year, not too long ago. Look, the exact same thing that I filmed, that we just saw in Phoenix, going down on South Mountain. Now, this one is going down in the ocean. Let's stop that for a minute. Look at this thing, okay? Let's look at this thing, guys. All right, see that? And I wish I could find the original video to that, but it was going down, and they said it went down into the ocean, and I believe that because why? I mean, mountains aren't the only ones with fault lines. All right, these oceans, they have energy too. The oceans have these fault lines, these ley lines, if you will, also. And there we go. And that's the reason why it's going down into the ocean, because of the fault line. All right. Right? And when we look at the rock art, we can pretty much get a idea here on what we're looking at. This is where the credibility is, folks, right here. This is what we can prove, okay, is what history is telling us, what ancient scrolls and so-called myths and legends and stuff that's written 3,000 to 5,000, 7,000 years ago is telling us. And then now, look, we're seeing it, dude. See that? We're seeing them now. Okay? It's here. This is what we're dealing with. This is real stuff. This is what we're dealing with. It's not trash. I can just imagine, right? Everyone's freaking out. Oh, what is it? What is it? Well, if you guys have been watching my show all these years, you'd know what it is. I'm so glad you guys are here now, because now you're understanding what's here. Okay? What is really here? All right? And I believe that this is not technology. These things are alive. This is a living creature we're dealing with here, folks. This is it. Okay, let's move on. That's a great sighting. I had to show that. All right, what else? What else we got? Let me show you what I filmed in, what was it, 2005, I believe it was. Okay, now look at this bad boy. Now look at this. This thing made video of the day in 2005 on News Channel 3. And this thing is crazy, right? So let me tell you the backstory on this. So February 2nd, 2005, 8 o'clock in the morning. And they do like mornings. Okay. So I'm watching the window. I got my camera ready. And I look up, and this thing is sprawled out like a spider. I call it a spider. And it's going like clockwise or counterclockwise. It's spinning in the sky. And I look up, and I knew it was something. So I jumped on my camera, and my camera takes 3 seconds to warm up before it starts recording. So boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, it's recording. Soon as it did, this thing dropped down butt first out of the sky and flies right by me. Okay? This thing flies eye level. I'm on like the second story of my apartment, and this thing is right here in eye level. This thing is right there. Okay, as it goes past the window sills, it's going over some palm trees. It's now zigzagging in front of me as I move in the camera, to get the camera situated. And when I did, it popped, it zigzagged, and then it shot off across the sky right in front of me, and I'm filming it and freaking out because the damn thing flew. I don't know. I mean, it was close, okay? And look how it's flying. Look how this thing is flying through the sky. See how it's twisting over on itself, and it's doing this, okay? It's in control. It knows what it's doing. Look, let's take a look at this again, okay? Now let's stop it. Ooh, boy, that's a good one. Look at that thing. Okay? Have you ever seen a balloon like that before, guys? You ever see, oh, I'm sorry, but drones wasn't available to the public in 2007. Do your research, right? There's no drones. There's no propellers. There's no noise to this thing. That's one thing, too. These things make no noise, and they cast no shadows, all right? This is what you want to look for, right? So, look, let's do it. Slow it down. Let's watch it here. See what it does as it comes. Now, look. See how it kind of changed there. You see that? It kind of changed. Let's do it again. Okay. Oh, boy. Doesn't it look like a tarantula? Woo! That's some heavy stuff. Look at this. Oh, and then you see this thing there? Look. Where's my arrow? You see these kind of bubbles here? Let's see if we can back it up just a minute. Let's just a hair. There. Well, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it changing there. Okay, it's kind of bubbling up. Look, look, look. Look what it's doing. See that? See? It kind of changed. So a lot's going on as it's flying through the sky. See that there? Now look at that. It's happening so fast, it looks like it's all one, motion, but in fact, it's changing. It's changing shape. Look at it now. See that thing? See if I can get it just right. Look at that there. Look at that thing. See, now it kind of looks like a whale or something, right? With fins on it. Maybe a dolphin? Right? See that? Look how it's changing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look, look. It's getting... Oh, my goodness. Woo! Look at that. I'm telling you, these things are alive, dude. And, when I zoomed in on this, and I got a better look, it really looks like lizard skin. I'm sorry. It does look like skin to me. And then, oh, shoot. Did I pass it? Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think I passed it. Okay. But let's see if I can get a good one on. A good clear stop. Pause. You can kind of see. You can look at this thing. See how it kind of flaps over on itself there? There's like maybe a turtle's head or something. Look at that thing. Look. Okay. And now look at it. See? It looks like eyes or something staring at you. Oh my goodness. Look at that thing. I mean, what, right? What is this thing, right? I can tell you. And then look how when it's passing by my window here, just as it goes past the windowsill, look, this is like underneath it, okay? I'm going to give you a secret. These things aren't from another planet. This is their world too. This is their planet also. They have always been here. This is what is going on here. This is what's in our skies, people. It's creatures like this, okay? And they're not from another world. This is their planet also. They have always been here. Just as the oceanographers are finding new species of life below the ocean, this is a new species of life above the ocean, right? That has always been here. They're intelligent. They know who's watching. They know who's not. This is how they're getting away with being in our skies for so long. All right. But, I mean, I knew it because more and more as I watched them throughout the years, and noticed what was going on, more was coming. The first year, there was a lot, dude. Second year, there's more. Third year, there's more. Oh, my God. I can't imagine what it's like now. I mean, you're going to see them, okay? You got to know what time, what day, what month, right? And you got to have a lot of patience. And you're just not going to go out there and expect to see one. It doesn't happen that way. Though, one of the secrets is some of these petroglyphs, I've done it, I've proved this, has the power to evoke the spirits. Native Americans says this. The archaeologist agrees with me on this. And I've proven this at least 3 times on 3 different spots on South Mountain when it comes to rock art. Now, you might not see it that same day, but eventually, within the next day, maybe a week or 2, you will see them. If you go over there and you talk to them, and you say, hey, why don't you come and see me, blah, blah. That's what I did. They will. They will come and see you, man. I've done it. I've done it 3 times in 3 different locations of petroglyphs on South Mountain. And I think that's one of the reasons why, they knew I was coming. These things, I've been seeing these things ever since I was a kid. So they've been obviously watching me. They knew, that I was going to be some kind of messenger for them to tell you exactly what is here. This is it. I believe everything happens for a reason. All right. This is my destiny. All right. Showing you what is here. It's taken a long time, and, but it's here. I've always said this now. This is what we're dealing with. And, now there's a lot of other people taking, credit for my work. But I tell you, I am the original source on these beings, okay, here in the United States. I was the first one to prove it, the first one to prove the rock art, the first one to say, look, these aren't crafts, these are living creatures, all right? And so much history's backing me up. The Native Americans are backing me up. The city not archaeologist, but the first park ranger, Charles Holbrook of South Mountain, is backing me up. There's so much credibility here. I am the original source, right? And I've been saying this for years. Oh, the public isn't ready for this, Jeff. Well, damn it. This is what's here. It's these things. Look at this creature, man. Look at that guy. Okay, now I'm gonna show you something. This is the first time I'm gonna put a filter on this guy, a video type of filter, and this is gonna be the first time that we can actually see on how these things fly through the sky, on how they're able to harness and use this energy to propel themselves through the sky. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Let me find it. It's going to come right at you. You're going to be shocked. Let me find it. There it is. Okay, so we put a filter on this, and when we did, I was amazed on what we were seeing. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look at this. Do you see that glow there? You see that? You see how it's pushing its energy through the sky as it moves along? Do you see that? Look how it's moving. Look what it's doing. See that? See how it's... Look at that. Okay? You don't see this with the naked eye, right? We use a special filter on that. Look at that thing. See? See how this thing is flying through the sky? See how it's using this energy to push its way through the sky? Look at that. Look at that. And, oh, it's got to be a reflection, dude. Well, the sun's moving around. The sun's moving around to reflect it. That's all I'm saying, right? There's no way it could be the sun reflecting. Look at that. Look how it's flying through the sky. Okay, look how it uses its energy. This is the first time ever we can see on how these things fly through the sky. Okay? Isn't this credible? Isn't this great? This has never been done before. And we can see how it's pushing itself. It's using that energy to push itself through the sky. It's crazy. I was amazed. I was shocked when I put this filter on it. And it was just by chance. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. Look at that thing. Right? That is just crazy. Look. See that? See that there? This has never been seen before. This has never been done before. This is the first time ever we can actually see how these things move through our skies. See that? Look, is that crazy? Wow. I love it. Woo! Look at that. Is that great? I mean, we can see the beams coming off this thing, man. Look at that energy. Look at that. Look at that. Look, look, look. Look how it's pushing itself down, right? Or pushing itself, right? On how it moves its energy and just flies around there, right? Moves that energy around. Look at that. Let's back that up. That was crazy. Isn't that interesting? Look at that. Look at that, guys. Man. Holy cow. Did you just see that? I could go on for you forever. Look, boop. Oh, look at that. Wow. Holy cow, is that crazy? Oh. That's just something. I get teary-eyed when I see it. Holy cow, this has never been seen before. This has never been done before with these things. Is that wild? Is that just something? I mean, look, 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 look. Look at the rays. Look at the energy. Look how it's doing that. Look, look, look. Look how it's shooting off of that, man. Insane. Let's watch it. Let's watch it all the way, and I won't stop it this time. But I'll back it up. Okay, yeah. Woo. Look at that. It's just boom, boom, and it's just it's using that energy, man, and it's keeping level, right? And it's twisting, doing that energy. Oh man, poof, wow. You know, it flies by the window. I'm setting the camera, watching it, you know, setting the camera back up. Boom, bada, boom. Here it's in front of me now. Boom, shooting across the sky. Let's catch it. Here we go. There it is. Oh, my goodness. What in the world? This made video of the day on News Channel 3 in 2005. This was, you know, never seen before and certainly never seen this way before. No other UFO has been able to be seen this way. No other living creature. And you're looking at it live right here today, folks. Look at that. Okay. We have a lot to cover, and I'm already into an hour, so let's move on. Oh, my God. I just had to show that. Let's see if we can stop it. Oh! Is that crazy? Look at that. Oh, I love it. Man. Poof. It's like a burst of energy. Boom, boom, boom. That's crazy. Okay, I'm out of here. Okay. Woo! Love it. All right, let's move on. What else do we got to talk about here? What is this here? Okay, so this thing here I filmed what was it? 2000 oh my God, 2019. Okay? I filmed this thing in 2019. Okay? And we're going to discuss this here. All right, so let's watch it. Let's watch this thing. All right, this is how these things move. Okay, let's examine this real closely. Look at this. Oh, somebody's saying, "Oh, it's balloons, dude. It's balloons." Well, okay, let's watch it. Okay. Just, have you ever seen a balloon do that before? Right? Okay, look at that thing. Okay, this thing. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look how it's moving through the sky, and it's changing shape. Right? Look. Oh, it's got to be balloons, dude. All right, well, we're going to look at balloons here in a minute. We're going to do a comparison because that's what we do. Okay, we investigate everything, right? But first, we're going to see the sighting. Look what it's doing, okay? If these were balloons, don't you think it'd be bobbing all over the place, right? Okay. Ooh, look at it now. Kind of looks like a bird, right? Kind of looks like Big Bird. Okay. I filmed this in 2019 and went over my apartments. I have been seeing these things ever since I was a kid. I just now started filming them in 2004. You know, because everywhere I went, I was seeing them in the skies. So I did this just to find out for my own dang self what the heck is going on here. You know, I had to find out. I had the time, I had the means, I had the patience, and that's the thing too. You got to have patience for this. It's not going to happen when you want it to, okay? But you have something that I didn't have. You have me telling you when to look, where to look, how to look, and what to look for, okay? I didn't have all this. I learned everything on my own over the years, okay? Through my own investigations. Nobody taught me this. I was the first one to do this, okay? And I've been doing it ever since, all right? Let's watch it again. Okay? But this time let's look at balloons now. Let's take a look at what balloons look like also. Okay, so here we have some balloons. I'm going to cover my face up. All right, we're going to do a comparison here. All right, let's go ahead and let's play the balloons. Let's watch the balloons. And let's watch our UFO. Okay? Can you see the difference here? Can you see the difference? You see how balloons move, guys? You see what balloons do? Now, is this creature acting like this? Is this creature really acting like balloons? Okay? Is it really acting like balloons here, guys? This is what investigating is all about, okay? We have to do a comparison on stuff. Oh, it's got to be balloons, Jeff. Well, yeah, why? Because we've been looking for spaceships, right? We're not looking for something that's different. So, to understand what's here, you know, we first have to understand what's natural. Balloons, okay? Flares, drones, airplanes, right? Stuff like that. Stars, planets, flares, whatever. Airplanes, helicopters, jetpacks, whatever, okay? We have to first understand that, okay? So when we see something that's different, all right, our brain will automatically say, wait a minute, that's not acting like what I researched, days before. Okay, that's not acting quite right from what I've seen in the skies. You see? Is that something or what? This is one of my favorite sightings. Yeah, I love this guy. This thing is crazy. It is crazy. Look how it's changing shape there, guys. Now it looks like a bird. Okay. Clearly, it's not resembling balloons by far. Balloons are twisty. They have no control of themselves. They're going with the wind. But this thing is clearly in control. It knows where it's going. It knows what it's doing. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we could rule out balloons now, guys. All right. This thing is alive. And though it maybe certain parts, maybe it might look like balloons, it's certainly not acting like balloons. Okay. It's not changing like balloons do. It's not changing shapes. It's not drifting away from each other. I mean, it's in control. It knows what it's doing. You know, it's flying through the sky. Okay. This is what to look for. This thing is crazy, isn't it? And I can understand, well, it's got those two bubbles on it, dude. It's got to be balloons, man, because it's got these bubbles, right? They look like they're balloons, and then there's the sticks. There's the strings, man. That's got to be a balloon, dude. All right, well, let's watch it and see what it does. It's not bobbling around because balloons, they twist around. We just saw them, Come on, people. Let's get a grip on ourselves here. Let's use common sense, okay? We're not back in the third grade now. We know, right, that how balloons should act, okay? This thing is completely controlled. Now look what it's doing there. You see how it just changed? See what it's doing there? Do balloons really act like this, okay? Look at that thing. I filmed this in 2019 over in Glendale, Arizona. You know where GCC College is? Glendale Community College? Holy cow. And when I was a kid, it's funny too, because when I was a kid and I first saw these things, I was living, 10 blocks away from GCC. I actually learned how to swim in GCC's Glendale Community College swimming pool with the swimming lessons when I was a youngster. Okay, that's how close I lived to this college. And now in 2019, it's weird. I'm living right across the street from that college, and I'm seeing these things, man. So that's a hot spot. That's a hot spot. What is it? 49th Avenue and Olive. Okay. And in Glendale, okay, that's a hot spot. And I stayed there for a couple of years, and I wish I wouldn't have moved. But oh my goodness, I was seeing a lot of crazy stuff, and this was one of them. Okay, and so it's a major hot spot right in that area there. Okay, let's move on. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, so I filmed this, and what year was this? Oh, I can't remember. We'll have to look now. So you see the petroglyphs. Let's look at the petroglyphs. This is on South Mountain. I was going to show the pilot for the Ancient Aliens show, the one that me and Pat Usker did for the UFO Hunter show. Did you know that it wasn't originally going to be called the UFO Hunter show? It was supposed to be called UFO Road Trip. That was the original name to the UFO Hunter show back in the day. So I was doing this way before these shows was even a dream, was even a thought. Way before Ancient Aliens, way before UFO Hunter, way before, way before Skinwalker Ranch, who's now using my information, okay? Because I get people writing me every day telling me, dude, they're talking about the same stuff you're talking about. I said, yeah, I know, dude. I'm the source, right? My stuff has been out there since 2005, so, but I'm just glad that everybody else is seeing these things now. And but I was going to show the pilot for that, but we just didn't have time. And so I'll show it probably in the next episode. And you can probably see it on my YouTube channel. Here we go. See that there? Let's back it up. So we see the glyphs. You see how it looks like a crooked snake there? See that? And we have these two guys. Not me. Don't be flying around, Jeff. Okay? And then now, see, that was the mountain. This thing left South Mountain. Okay? And look what it's doing, guys. Okay? It's shape-shifting. It's changing shape. All right? This is what to look for. Look. See what it's doing there? Look how it's moving. Okay. See what it's doing. Okay? This is what we need to look for. This is when we look at videos, this is one way to analyze them on how they're moving and what they're doing. Okay? Are they bobbing around like balloons? Are they going in a straight line? Are they changing shape like creatures are supposed to do, like these anthropomorphs are doing? Look. See how it's changing shape there, guys? See this thing? I filmed this in 2005. It left South Mountain. It took me, probably about almost another year to find the petroglyph to this sighting. But the archaeologist drew it in his book, so I knew I was right. And this is one of my holy grails evidence, is this sighting here, because, I mean, clear as day. I mean, it matches the petroglyphs, but it took me almost a year to find that petroglyph, that rock art. And when I did, I was just overjoyed. So, I mean, up until then, I was using the archaeologist's book, showing the diagram of what he drew. And so it took me a while to find the actual carving, and I was just overwhelmed when I did. But look what it's doing. Look what it's doing. See how it's shape shifting? Okay, so now it's going past my windowsill there. And see how close it is? It's like right there, guys. I mean, they want me to see them. They were putting on a good show for me in those years when I lived by South Mountain. I was getting some spectacular stuff. Great stuff. Now, this is neat, too. Watch what happens next. Okay, there's an airplane coming. There's a jet airplane coming, because to the left of us, to the left of your screen, is where Sky Harbor is, airport. And so this is where this jet is going to. Look! It just flies right by that jet, dude. Is that crazy? Let's look at that one more time. Let's zoom in on it. Is that crazy? Watch. Here it comes. There it is. Okay. There we go. Here it comes. It just makes me wonder if anybody in the passenger seat would have saw that thing. Now look what it's doing. See how it's changing shape there? See that? This is what to look for. It's changing shape. Crazy, huh? Right by. Look how it's flying. Okay. It's in control. It knows what it's doing. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So now let's talk about these jellyfish. Okay. So this was filmed supposedly by the military. Let's go ahead and play this. So let's examine this. Let's study this for a minute. Let's watch this, okay? Now, of everything that I've showed you so far, okay, what really sticks out with you? So what sticks out with you? Everything that I've showed you, from my sightings, from my credible sightings, from my real sightings, okay, what's wrong with this one? Anyone? Tell me. What's wrong with this one? What is it doing? Out of all those sightings that I've showed you, what's up with this one? Can you make it out? Can you see the difference here? So yeah, it's filmed in night vision, But what isn't it doing? Okay? What isn't it doing? What is it doing? It's not changing shape, for one. It's not anthropomorphing. It's not changing shape. That right there was that kind of, see, it's not changing shape. Okay? That stuck out like a sore thumb to me. It just wasn't changing shape. Another thing, look how it kind of disappears. You see that? In any of my other credible videos, did you ever see him disappear like that? No. They don't, because why? They don't do that. All right? I mean, not to that extent, okay? And when they do, you can see through them. Okay, I understand why the Native Americans call them spirits, because you can see through them. And you can't see through this thing when it supposedly disappears. Okay? You can't see through it. So that's two things in my mind is wrong. And I think, everyone, because of what's going on now, so everyone is really paying attention to the skies now. And they should, right? But also we need to understand what to look for. Okay, and that's why I'm here today explaining this. Okay, see, look, you can't see through that thing. So what I think really is going on here, I think this is a real video. I think everything looks, it's a real film, but it's not what we're looking for. It's not a real anthropomorph. It's not a real entity. It's not a real creature. Okay? And I think to make it look good, I think someone got a hold of this video. All right? This is my expert opinion on this. I've been doing this for years. All right? I've been analyzing videos. I know what to look for. Okay? I'm probably one of the credible UFO sky watchers out there, okay? And I'm telling you, this is different. This is not right. And I think what had happened is somebody filmed this object and they tweaked it to make it look like something that it's not, okay? I think someone got a hold of this footage and they're tweaking it somehow. They're editing it. They're filtering it somehow. Okay? To make it look good. To make it go viral. To get it famous. I don't care. Whatever. It's not what we're looking for. It's not correct. Though something is flying through the sky. Oh, this was filmed in Iraq also, by the way. That's important too. That's important information. This was filmed in Iraq during a festival. Okay, there was like some kind of event going on there in Iraq. All right, and so what usually do we see in events, special events? We see balloons. Don't we see balloons? So let's take a look at this for a minute. Let's just move this. Let's stop this. Set it aside. And let's take a look at this Iraqi balloon. Let's do a comparison here. Looks pretty good to me. That is what I think this thing is. You see the resemblance here? This is a Iraqi balloon. So when you filmed it in night vision and then you tweak it a little bit and you make it, seem like a UAP, you make it look like a UFO, a legit entity creature, But you can't fool the experts. You can't fool people like myself who's been doing this longer than you have, longer than these people that's been filming this, And you can't fool us, dude. Okay? You try. Just like with your fake crafts and your CGIs and your aliens and all this. You can't fake the experienced people, dude. And I believe that is what's going on here. So it may look good, but, you know, when you do your homework and you find out that there's Iraqi balloons like this, you know, and so the person filming this, you know, they're in night vision and they're now looking for these things, right? So they see this thing flying through the sky like that, you know, going with the wind. And, you know, oh my God, it's one of those creatures. It's one of those UAPs. So we got to film it, right? And then somebody else took that footage and started making it seem like it's disappearing. But like I said before, I've seen them. I've seen these things when they change shape and when they turn into spirits to absorb themselves into the mountain. You can see through them. They cast no shadows and you can see through them. Here, you can't see through it. All right. It's like someone put a filter on it to make it look like it's disappearing. Okay. So that's my take on it. I'm running out of time. But this next thing, oh my goodness. Holy cow. This next thing is real. And this is going to blow your doors off. This thing is crazy, crazy. Look at this thing. This thing is real. Look how it's changing. Look how it's moving. Okay? It's in control of itself. I'm not sure where this was filmed at. This is new stuff. You probably haven't seen this before. But oh my goodness, look at that thing, okay? And one thing that, I mean, you see that like type of eye there, okay? Now, there's a lot of petroglyphs in my past shows. I talk about that. The circle with the dot, okay? That right there tells me, you know, okay, this is not a hoax. This is real, okay? This is the stuff that we want to look for, right? This is credible stuff. This is real, you guys. Oh, and let me put the icing on the cake. You ready for the icing on the cake? Are you ready for this, guys? Woo! We don't call this petroglyphs in the sky for nothing, folks. Okay? This carving was on South Mountain. Okay? This carving's on South Mountain. And this wasn't filmed in the United States. I'm not sure where this was filmed at. But, oh my goodness, right? And can you see the dot in the middle there? That's what I'm talking about. Let me find my arrow and bring up my arrow if I can find it now. Okay? Look at that. Right? Now look at that. Right? Now look at these stems, these arms. Look at that there. I mean, come on, people. Holy cow. Petroglyphs in the sky, baby. That's it. Is that insane or what? This is the kind of stuff that we need to be looking for. This is what's credible, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. My time is up. My time is way past. Thank you guys for signing up to the Roku channel and watching my show and other paranormal shows. Don't forget the other guys that are here too. There's a lot of great ghost investigators here on the Paranormal Family channel, and I'm so glad that I'm a part of it, and I'm so glad you guys are here with us, enjoying this information and all this crazy stuff. And thank you so much. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, find out my YouTube channel, Phoenix Lights, Petroglyphs in the Sky. Check out my books, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a great one, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Spirits calling you across the